We're going to get into it sooner rather than later. We got Mirage coming up as the first map, and we've got Cloud9 on the T side with 9C on that CT side. So, yeah, there's no doubt that every single round here is going to make a huge difference to 9C. So, you know, the faster they can get up and running, the better it's going to be. So mid control, smoke already in the air for that window, and Roobet just, you know, applying a little bit of pressure. The rest of speaking of pressure, wow, Max taking down Roobet. That's a nice start. I was going to say they just wanted to have some attention drawn this way. It looks like they were setting up for some sort of an A crunch eventually, but now there's a little bit of a chance for 9C to do something at least. Smoke going off the connector, but this is a good start at the very least, getting that early kill.
100%. Right now, I feel like it's just about trying to pull some rotations to the B site. You've got that top con smoke to try to fake it out, but with the bomb now making its way out of Palace, I don't know if they've done the due diligence just yet. Still goes 1 for 1. The advantage in the favor of 9Z. The bomb's going to go down, but still already have players here on the assistance from stairs. Axile thought he was going to get flashed into CT, but no, just takes the raw aim duel and wins it out outright. So we go to even footing, and it's all about playing for this time right now, wasting the utility, baiting it all out. That wasn't a flash, and he almost got baited by it, but everybody right now a bit spread apart for the likes of 9Z, moving in piece by piece, and also picked apart in the exact same regard. Axile already with 2 as he looks for more. They're both split apart, but they still want to take the fights, and QZ, he finds the frag, but it just might be a little too late.
It's a rough one. Smoke is up, though, on top of the bomb. Oh, Shiro, what a headshot. But even with the kit, it doesn't really matter. Against 2 pistols like that, you're never going to get that full defuse. That is a nice round, especially out of Axile. He pretty much carved the space in that round for them to pick it up. So, job well done, Cloud9. They're going to win the pistol round. But honestly, I mean, that was competitive. What a shot from Max to begin with. They could have won this round, 9C, I'm not going to lie. But it was too much. Axile, a little bit too wild with that Glock.
I feel like it was a bit misspacing too on that retake. I mean, you saw like 1 by 1 they were peeking in CT. It just felt a little bit disjointed, maybe a bit chaotic. I don't even know if they were expecting it to get that far.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. And yeah, you're right. I mean, that's also why I think Axile's movement into CT spawn is so cool, right? Because I'm not sure if 9C weren't necessarily ready to take that fight. It looked like they were probably just wanted to use that as like a staging area to get into the A bomb side, and suddenly gets taken away from them. So not at all bad. All USPs on the other side. Not even a single flashbang. That's disappointing, but, you know, we'll see.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Classic.
Full eco, I mean, you can't really blame it. Just try to get the guns out as soon as possible, especially against the team as volatile as C9.
They're just so hard. I mean, no matter what, playing a team that's, you know, that's this far near the top 3 in the world, it's always going to get rough. But they have such a weird style that I just feel like for 9C, I mean, they obviously know about it. They've obviously looked at demos and everything else, but it is so hard to stop. It just is. So might be they need someone, I feel like, to be like a real playmaker here, someone that could take the fight to them the way that Max did in the pistol round to begin with. But they need a lot of rounds like that where they have someone who could start it out like 4 on 5, just get that early kill, and I don't think it's going to be easy.
We've just got to hope that pistol didn't set a precedent, because I'm with you. You are going to need somebody to start to set yourselves apart. But we kind of saw that on the pistol where they had that nice opener in middle, but it just didn't really matter.
It's, I don't know. AWP on NQC, that could be a way to do it. Gonna get smoked off, though, right away. The life of anyone trying to AWP on CT side Mirage, isn't it? Just always, there's going to be, you know, utility everywhere in your face.
I feel like they've got a good setup to counter this, though. 1 con, 1 cat, trying to pick off stragglers as they make their way up, but very disciplined. C9 just wait it out, see if anybody's peeking away in middle, try to win these 1v1s, and Max backs away before he could take the first interaction. A bit skittish, it seems.
Yeah, but he's getting some information at the very least. Axile starts to fall back. The rest of the team looking to join him. They got the bomb up there in the B hallways, and not that much info in the middle for 9C at the moment. They've got 2 people back at the B bomb side, but they don't really know what's happening yet, and you could tell there's still a little bit of noise being made by Roobet in there. So he's trying to sell the idea that there's more happening in the middle than there really is. Max is trying to figure out what's happening, but they might be a little bit late. If they can't defend this B bomb site with the 2 people that are there, no one's going to get there in time to defend, I think.
They still got utility to try to hold it down too, but a really well-placed flashbang, I thought at least. No, they're going to get shut down. Walking into this crossfire somehow. Nafany's able to walk away with that trade, but he's still not gotten into the site just yet. Molly keeps us even, but the bomb's still yet to go down. You've got 30 seconds and a couple of open avenues in towards market here, and QX still able to work with this AWP, not yet to find a kill or solidify himself in the round. So it is still a big question mark as to whether or not it's in play or not, but with that kill coming through on middle, I imagine it's just going to be a save call.
Yeah, surely they don't want to give away the AWP. That's a huge risk. Axile, a little bit quick with the little bit of a peek there. Hobbit was waiting the whole round. Him and Max were having this standoff for the longest time in the middle, even before any bomb was planted, and Hobbit was endlessly patient. So Max is going to be super annoyed. I think he had the right read. I actually think he understood that he was probably getting checked in that moment. So, but eventually he has to, once the bomb is down, he has to do something, and Hobbit's just a little bit too quick on the trigger. So, good hit from Cloud9. That's not at all a bad round. Did lose a couple of players and could have definitely lost more in that one. So it started out a bit scary, but fair play to them. It worked out. They win the first 3 rounds. And 9C, yeah, I think saving at the end here was the right call.
I still feel like that's a bit of an issue, though, right? I mean, they come cracking out onto the B side. It's about even footing. You've got 2 players on the initial hold with tons of utility to shut them out, too, but they just kind of get shut down, it feels. Like, somehow that MAC-10's able to go all the way up to default before it's really spotted. The crossfire fails. And obviously, it's still early on, but I don't feel like you can let these errors slip for that long, especially against a team that we already talked about is such high standings just in global-level Counter-Strike.
No, you're right. I think there's no doubt. You need to win all of the, let's say, the rounds that feel somewhat even, and all of the rounds where you're super favored. So every time you have a 4-on-5, you pretty much got to win it. And even in this kind of round, like the initial defense over at B was pretty decent. So, because there are going to be way more rounds we have to expect coming down the road where Cloud9 are going to start out with a pretty huge, favor, and they're going to get a couple of early entry kills. And those are the rounds that are obviously very, very hard to win. So whenever you get a shot at something that feels a little bit even, it's going to be so important to try and convert those into wins. Alone on the A-bomb side is Davy G at the moment. So, or is it just David, I guess? For a minute I thought that was... that's from... that's all the way over from the Spanish Counter-Strike. That threw me off for a second. But yeah, just on his own. He's getting a little bit of backup. That's not bad. Actually, the AWP being wheeled in. Oh, they weren't ready for it. They thought that was an M4, and now instead, NQC coming up with 2 huge kills. Not at all bad, and Shiro's frozen in place right now. Bomb is dropped for the minute. What a shocking turn of events. 3 versus 4, and about 30 seconds left. Shiro looking to find anyone that he can, but he might just have to almost back out. Smoke is up to help him, and he's got the bomb recovered, but I don't even know where they go right now.
Napanee's just found a bit of an open avenue for them over towards the B plane. With 20 seconds to go, he seems to be a hero who doesn't wear a cape for C9, especially with this round turning the way that it did, finally spotting somebody on this market cross, but he's already cleared off the majority of the site. Shiro, that's a big kill to be found too. Still, Flash comes out. They want to deny this play before it can go down. With 5 seconds to go, 90 may have just cracked the code. You can get any kills as you want. There's just no way you're winning this round. And somehow 9Z have pulled it back from the depths of destruction. It looked like for a second there that round was going to be shut down with an advantage coming up Con with the site almost in their midst. But again, just a beautiful play from this op saves 9Z.
That is super crazy, and they even got the read to rotate towards the B-bomb side in time, as you said, to pick this up. No chance once they get that that first kill in the bomb plant. That's well done. All right, 3-1. Like to see it, and they need not just that round, but the next one too, right here. After that, the money is going to start to run out for Cloud9, and then there's a chance to really build something. But there was already just the saved AWP making all the difference in the world. So I appreciate it. Rocks hanging around with the M4 over on this side, and it seems like it's going to be a replay of that hit towards the B-bomb side. They want to go for it again.
I don't know how quick this response is going to be. They don't really have somebody who's going to be right there to go with them. So unless he's able to buy enough time for them to get some reinforcement on this site, he's just going to have to fall off, maybe get one, get traded out, and they'll have to play for this retake depending on how quick the response is to this hit. But he's already backed up a little bit. Defensive position taken, EGT with an opening pick, and maybe this starts to unravel some of the curiosities of 9Z, who start to cheat a player up catwalk. You've got DGT while low. He'll still be here to try to spot out a cross, in which he finds another, and this B take seems to be in shambles, instantly shut down, and Cloud9 might have just given up that second round that we were worried about.
Yeah, oh, they're actually shutting it down so well. Shiro, doesn't really matter how many kills he gets right now in terms of winning the round. Rox will take him down at the end. It's a good triple, and that was so well done. The setup that they had in middle as well, up on the scaffolding, looking down into the underpass with a second player that was holding top mid, so they were super sure that they weren't going to get shot at the back doing that, and then they can turn that whole thing into a beat defense once they get the mid portion of it already corrected. So Cloud9 at the moment, not really having I don't know, the shutdown effect that maybe a lot of people were worried about, because again, that feels like that's the setup going into a game like this, is that it could just be extremely one-sided. So it's cool to see 9C coming out and answering back and putting them back on pistols now. This is really awesome.
I also feel like that was a bit of a counter, too, because for the majority of this early start, Cloud9 have had some form of presence in middle, and I feel like that's dictated their success to some point, whether it's the pistol round where they try to take early control, that rifle round where they ended up going into B, they had somebody lurking in middle for the whole round. It feels like 9Z just really wanted to put an emphasis on shutting down what Cloud9 got done in mid.
Well, it's working, right? If you control the mid portion of the map, it makes a lot of sense. Then, you know, you have that quick rotation to either A or B, and a lot of what they're doing is going to be way more easier to read. So, yeah, I mean, usually I feel like these days, most CT teams, I feel like try and stay away from the middle because it's just so hard to take that fight. It might be even harder against a team like Cloud9, but honestly, if they're successful in kind of saying or in doing what you're saying, it then more power to them. That would be impressive, all on its own. All back in hands, both of Shiro and QC. So maybe a chance to have a little bit of a fight there. That'd be fun to see. Shiro obviously very hard to challenge, no doubt.
They've already spotted nothing, but C9 on the response go out into A, which so far looks vacant. But this op's gonna peek into ramp. No, it's not him getting his head taken off first. It's David. The response soon going to be needed because of 4-on-5. We've seen how these go before. Bomb crosses back into T-spawn, so maybe they reconsider their alternative here. But no, with 4 players getting ready for an A take, no reason to back out now.
Yeah, seeing it. They're all rotated this way. This is so crazy. Going back to check for a minute, this NQC with the AWP is a little bit worried that there's going to be some sort of a late, call from Cloud9 to turn it around. But we can tell they're not really doing that. They're just inching their way onto the A bomb site. Nothing too special here, but you could easily get caught on the defense right now. And already in a 4-on-5, if they catch even one player out of position here and make it a 5-on-3, it's probably done. Molotov nearly burning Max alive, but he's lucky, and I think Axel has the right idea. I don't know if he saw anything. Yeah, he sees the gun barrel. Oh, but Max is lightning fast. What a shot to bring down Axel. And maybe the retake is on. They could do this.
No wonder now, yeah, you've got full control of CT and towards the con side, so the only question is towards Palace and ramp, but Shiro's op still has a bit of an easy angle to hit a shot on, and the glass slipper could crack here shortly. You've got the rotation coming around through middle and alongside Inters. They've all been shut down one by one. They're picked apart methodically. Cloud9 on the post plant looked perfect.
Ooh, that was a moment there. I thought, especially Max in the middle, once he gets that kill, that really does open up a lot of the retake, because obviously if it goes the other way, there's no retake even happening, because then, they lose control of connector, and the rest of them coming out of CT spawn just don't even have a shot. So, a bit of a shame that they couldn't get a little bit quicker in there, maybe with the smoke up on the bomb, but yeah, no real shot. So, 4-3 the scoreline. Moving into the 8th round. Nice jump out of the window to try and beat that smoke and get on over. Just in case anyone was going to be a little bit quick with it. And over at the A ramp, Inter's going to get challenged right away, but he takes both of them down. David and Max, both of them hitting the ground. So that's another tough start here for the 9C side.
And I feel like already, if you're 9Z and you want to win a round like this, I feel like you've just kind of got to take the 50-50 gamble stack, or just play damage mitigation at this point. Maybe even see what they give you. I mean, the op is still in play from CT spawn, and QZ has the right idea with this con post, but seems like they're just going to wait out behind this smoke, wait for it to fade, go into the A site, and yeah, you can already see 9Z starting to give it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it. I think that is the right call. Spreading out really thinly like they were initially, probably not the right move. So yeah, why not just stack everyone at either A or B, and then yeah, roll the dice. If they go to the bomb site, you get the save, and if they happen to show up where you are, then maybe you could win the 5-on-3. Yeah, and then that's what they're doing finally. I think this is a solid move. But I mean, they already proven once saving that AWP could net them around. So why not put some more stock into that? But a good round nonetheless, obviously, for C9's point of view. They're going to be happy with it. 5-3 in their favor. And just, even the setup, I mean, I actually like it from 9C. I like the idea of going aggressive, trying to flash their way in to take that fight to Inters. I think that is the kind of stuff they need, all right? If they want to cause an upset here, they're probably not going to do it playing completely default Counter-Strike and just hoping to beat C9 straight up.
Yeah, I do kind of like that they've been somewhat mixing it up with the map control they take. Now they've experimented with the idea of getting aggressive over towards A. I just hope that one shutdown isn't going to completely sway them away from the idea, because you don't want to just give them the respect because maybe you missed a shot once, maybe the spacing was a little off. I feel like that could have gone really well for 9Z had just a little bit more luck gone their way.
Yeah, if they trade that kill on Intos right away and just make it a 1-for-1, then why not? Why not, you know, try and build something behind it? But that is a rough start. I don't know. There's not a lot to do to recover that one. So we'll see. They get to save some guns. They're all they're all on the scoreboard, right? When you have this kind of a matchup, sometimes what happens is really the underdog team just has a hard time getting one or two of their players to have almost any kills. So, you know, it's good to see that no one is completely fallen off the radar at the moment. Timeout being called, tactical timeout from the 9C camp. So getting a chance to talk things over. Why not?
I just wonder what the response is going to be, because it feels like Cloud9 have kind of been consistently besting them at just about every point. Like, when you just come to head-on-head gunfights, like when Cloud9 really want to take control of something, it just doesn't seem like 9Z have been able to stop it.
Yeah, and that probably... I'm expecting that we'll see more and more of that kind of thing. And that's also where some of the emotional side of the game could be really hard to keep up with when you're faced up... versus the kind of people that they're playing against here. It's just so demotivating when you feel like any one of them could potentially take down 2 or 3 of my teammates at any point in time, and it's just very, very hard to hold on to. But we'll see. I feel like they've been fighting back really well, especially Max has been having some shining moments. Rox as well over at the B-bomb site, so I don't want to sell them too early here. It's possible that we could see some more stuff like that. But it has to be early. I think we're all in agreement on that right now. They need to answer back a little bit quick before C9 start to feel too confident. And they're playing kind of slowly again now, leaving space here for the CT side to make a mistake potentially. And Anthony nearly... Oh, he's walked right under. Hobbit is going to be dead to that boost anyway, but that's some close timing.
I've got a weird feeling about this round because that might cause the response of Inters getting a bit info-hungry towards Palace. If NQC finds this kill, it's free map control for 9Z, and now they don't really have to worry about the approach coming through from the A side, or at least from the T-spawn side. Now, the big question mark is middle. Obviously, as time goes on, you're going to start to turn your attention back towards some of these angles, but you can already see Max taking full control of Palace. This is going to be an easy spot for them to play on the retake if it even comes down to that. But C9 in the 2-on-4 have low health, don't have a lot of time to work with, and don't have that much space either.
Yeah, they're actually in a fair bit of trouble right now. You wonder if they're just gonna set up in hope for a mistake from somebody from 9C to do economic damage, but they're no longer trying to win the round here. Wow, that's really well done. And I think you're right. You know, the way that plays out, because they know from the boost that there's going to be 2 people playing around over on the catwalk, and he's probably thinking, all right, well, if there's 2 people that far over, maybe the A player, the A anchor is going to be playing a little bit further back too, so I could go check out what's happening in the Palace, and he just got shut down. So well done, good read, and that's a 4-on-5. This is pretty respectable. I mean, there's a lot of things working against 9C in terms of the economy and the fact that Cloud9 still can buy into this round, but if they can crack that part of the problem and start to force Cloud9 back into that eco territory, then we've got a real shot here for 9C to do some damage in the first half.
I feel like there's been a couple of these rounds now where C9 haven't even been able to get a bomb plant too, so the fact that they're flip-flopping these rounds means they aren't really able to add up that loss bonus. And the one thing you usually have in this game is that T is just the better part of the economy. It's like you build up that loss bonus to some point, you just are able to get the bomb down and get a buy right after, but that hasn't been the case here because C9 have had such inconsistencies in actually planning the bomb, but still, fairly aggressive setup from 9Z, not giving Cloud9 the respect that they want, and maybe the pressure is starting to be felt.
Close off angle here, which, I don't know, it could work out. David, he's thinking about it. He's got 2 teammates behind him, so if he can get a kill, he could fall back with relative safety, or if he gets any kind of a hint that something is up, he could try and go for it. Obviously, a scope here from Shiro would give the game away. I don't know if David would want to get flashed into that fight. That's a huge 50-50. Even if you think they're on scope, that could be dangerous. And NQC down here looking at that. He's so ready if Nafany wants to go for it. But Cloud9 are being patient right now. Slow down. They got the mid control, though. They could go for a huge A crunch. But look at the read. 9C, they're actually bringing a lot of people over. They have a huge setup in this bomb site right now.
This is a really good play from 9Z, I feel. I mean, they don't really have much risk being taken here, especially with the aggressive hold, but maybe that is a risk. If you don't hit the shot, well, now you fall into a 4-on-5. Thankfully, NQZ on the off, a couple of chances to bring it back, but the 4-on-4 is taken with happy smiles on their faces. The bombs dropped as well, so they're going to try to crunch into this A site without the biggest important part of it. Now 2-on-3, smokes bloom absolutely everywhere. The timer, again, ticking against them. Maybe a little bit too much time taken in these early stages. Shoulder spotted to the stairs player, but again, they've got a crossfire set up for this in the flank of rocks, about to end the round entirely, doubling down, and they tie the game up just like that. The money's still not that big of a factor, but after a round like this, maybe the funds will start to run dry.
Yeah, that's a very nice flank, obviously, and I don't know. Some stuff is missing here. I feel like a couple of times right now we've seen Cloud9 try to come out of that connector with no smokes or molotovs or flashbangs or anything to exactly this position that we saw right there from NQC. That's where he got the couple of kills last time with that AWP, and there should be some kind of utility to make his life a little bit more tricky in that moment, and it just hasn't really been there. So Cloud9 definitely suffering a couple of rounds like that. Shiro goes down early in this one, starting at 4-on-5, and a chance right now for the CT side to maybe come up with a bit of a round lead right now. It's an exciting turn of events right now. I think a lot of you were tuning into this match expecting a very, very one-sided affair, so it's awesome to see 9C answering back and putting a little bit of pressure on Cloud9.
And they kind of look good doing it. Like, they seem comfortable with some of these setups they're pulling out. Like, it doesn't seem like they're just giving all this space to Cloud9 for free. Like, they're making them work for every inch. And Cloud9 have to always guess, is somebody going to be here? Is there a CT pushed up aggressive in apps? Because they've done it before.
And they're being very slow, which I don't think is surprising, really, the way that Cloud9 play this T side. But as long as 9C have the advantage, that shouldn't put too much pressure on them. Max moving forward just as the smoke comes in. Maybe there was an opportunity there to see somebody, but he's worried about the potential boost. And a lot of mid presence right now. They still love that B bomb site. They really want to try and see if they go for it this time, though. With a lot of people coming in from the catwalk. So at range, let's see that AK spray. Looked like, oh, is that Galil, in fact. But still, the spray could have been just fine to take down GDT. He's out in the open still, looking for a frag, and he'll take it on Hobbit. Didn't see him with that AWP, and what a defense from GDT. Absolutely well played. Double kill on him, and they have the lead, 6-5 right now. This is crazy. I'm really surprised.
Especially with how the game was looking at one point, where, I mean, it's 3 rounds in a row, and all of a sudden, the story flip-flops from Cloud9 not really worrying, or like having to worry about anything, to, well, what can or can't we take? What can or can't we do? 9Z are doing a really good job at putting on the pressure here, and I feel like these crossfires are so fluid. Everybody's starting to show up. I mean, you had DGT there, who I think played the B bomb site to utter perfection, not being in one place at any given time, so it's just always a guessing game for Cloud9.
They're out of money now. This could turn into something special. Everybody, yeah, DGG, he's up to 8 kills as well. Pretty much the rest of the team is there at the same time. And Cloud9 are not doing enough damage either here. Look at the money that's on that CT side. They started to build it slowly but surely. The Eagles need to get a couple of headshots in this round to just make it a bit more expensive. David, though, good stoppage right now. A couple of headshots to bring down Shiro and Inters as well. This is looking super solid at the moment. Wow, David keeps going, shutting it all the way down. Quad kill. It's just against pistols, but the fact is they don't lose a single player in that round, and now they have a 2-round lead. This is huge.
I just wonder how far they're going to be able to take this. Because Cloud9, like, the pressure's still on them. The rifles coming back out doesn't really ease all their worries. Like, they've still got to answer back to 9Z, who just have looked unstoppable in these past couple of rounds. Like, throwing just about everything at them, even the book. Like, their utility usage has been great. Them taking map control has been really good. Forcing the exact interactions they want to happen has been utterly phenomenal. And they've even been dealing with mid, which was, like, the ace in the hole for Cloud9.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's not like Cloud9 haven't had several opportunities at this point, but they've kind of been taken away. So now everybody's surprised. 13th round. AKs are being brought out right here. And look at the utility that's on that T side. If they, you know, I was complaining about this earlier, how they didn't really throw enough nades and everything else at NQC to try and put that AWP away, but now they don't actually have the nades to do it. So if he's going to keep hitting the shots, this is a great round. Should be a good round for him. They can't. They can throw a couple of smokes and maybe a flashbang or two, but that's not going to be enough on a map like Mirage. They can't create that giant wall if they really wanted to.
They're just playing for info in this round. It's all just playing off the backs of one another. DGT, passive in middle. You've got Max, who was jiggling top con. Still just Waiting for Cloud9 to make the first move with 50 seconds left on the clock. I feel like the timer's really gotten to them in these past couple of rounds, and it might do it again if they don't start to put pedal to the metal. I mean, they're still being met by smokes continuously thrown down, and we're walking into under 40 seconds, finally making a bit of a footstep with the first fight going their way. Things could start to get a bit easier. You've only got one man to go through with the B site, but now you've got the liberty of going to any B part.
And that's what they needed right there, especially that kill on Rocks, but I don't know. I mean, this is an interesting round, but the fact that they ran the clock so low, when they get the opening kills, it looks fine, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of issues, but not a lot had to go wrong in this round for it to kind of backfire on them a little bit. They're super safe at this moment in time, so going to be able to, if they really want to, they can steal that AWPO to Shiro if that's what they feel like, but yeah, nice opening kills in favor of Cloud9 in this one, and that's going to give them a 6th round on the board.
Right, but I mean, I'm with you. It's like, you've always got to think, what if Hobbit didn't get that opening pick? Like, even if the trade comes through, it's still a 4v4. You still don't know what's going on at B. Like, you don't know if that con swing's going to come through. There's a lot of question marks that come alongside the fact of Cloud9 wasting so much time in this round, but I just wonder if maybe eventually they're going to try to go a bit faster, catch 9Z with their pants down, because it feels like a lot of these times in the early round, they've been setting up with utility, and I feel like there's a lot of room for exploitation there.
Yeah, I mean, 30-some seconds right here. This is just it's a nice little kill. Max trying to relocate to see if he could find anything in the middle, but yeah, 30 seconds. Not that much time when you don't even have the bomb anywhere near. And I think the bomb was coming in from the B hallways on its own, right? There's no one else on that side. So if somehow that lone B defender gets the kill on the bomb up in the hallways and it's stuck in the hallway, now you have to get the kill on him, and you have to try and, you know, jump up there from the car, and like it's a lot of time you have to spend. So definitely a little bit worrisome in that sense. 14th round coming up though, and yeah, they did get that AWP on Shiro. Hobbit sneaking in, and David in some danger here, whether he knows it or not. Going up the ladder right now would probably be suicide. He's trying for a nice spam. That's all right. I take it all back. Well done.
Well, he didn't go up the ladder. He decided to get a bit creative with it, think outside of the box, but it doesn't matter how you think if you don't have a head. DGT, he's the great equalizer, but that's not going to stop 9Z from pressing forward in a round like this. Rocks on the re-swing. That one's not going to fly. And while we're still on even footing, it could go very poor considering they keep finding these individual players. And a well-placed flashbang for Max is going to mount him a bit of an advantage. Now, the op event and QZ is the next roadblock you've got to go towards. It's a full-on op duel, but again, it's the bomb potentially to be trapped in halls if things don't go their way. And they've also spotted the player trying to come through the rabbit hole, so maybe this is going to be expected. And QZ swings back in, catches Shiro with the head turn, and 9Z walk away with a guaranteed half win.
Yeah, this is really impressive. David is playing a really, really good game at the moment, shutting down some of these early rounds. This one is, you know, in itself is just a good job, right? But he's finding a lot. He's being very, very active with it. Taking down that A ramp as well.
This is just clean from 9Z. It just feels like now they're actually able to find these responses properly, and they're able to pick apart C9 on the individual front. Whereas in the beginning of this game, they were kind of struggling to do that. Oh,
definitely. And again, it's another round here where there's not that much utility either on the T side, so kind of a sign of the times for them. Oh, Molotov to chase him back. HE might have done the job almost. 16 health left on Hobbit. And once again, the mid control is something that they've been fighting for a lot and haven't really been able to find all the time here on the T side. Nice little fight for Axile there. Max, they're surely on timer on how long he can stick around. His teammates starting to fall back a little bit on the other side, so yeah, all right. There we go. Gets the headshot. A lot of patience on that one. I'd say potentially a little bit risky sitting around in the middle like that for a long time, but they get the job done. So back into a 4-on-4 we go.
This is a big deal, too, because they still know 2 players below. That was all confirmed damage. The dink, the body shots coming through. This is going to be one of those kills finally found, but now they know exactly where the play is going through, and they've just spotted the bomb, too. So C9 have a lot of problems they've got to deal with right now, and not a lot of time to do it. They're running out of utility, too, as well. Like, as the smokes fade, they've got 1 molly, 1 flash to make things work and put these pieces together. But, oh, I thought that was going to be surefire, a kill for David. Now some questions start to arise. They've got players pulled on both sides of the map. Where is this take really going through? 25 seconds, it doesn't even seem like Cloud9 really even know the bomb was going back to T-spawn. But finally, they make their decision. They make their mind up. And Max is still here to try to shut it down. 16 seconds to go, and the bomb, again, yet to be spotted, but they've got somebody at every avenue.
Yeah, they do, and I think you're right. It looked like even Cloud9 were a little bit lost for control in this round. 4 seconds left. Oh, it's too late. They can't get that bomb plant down. What a shocking way to end it. 9-6 in favor of 9C at the start of the half. That is a really, really fine job. Now, whether it's enough to win the map is a different question altogether, but that is still really cool to see. And Cloud9 definitely, I think, stumbling into this game, maybe a little bit confused. I like what I'm seeing here.
This is kind of scary, too, to go against, because historically, on this map alone, 9Z's T side is what sets them apart. That's what usually finds them the most success. So the fact that they're actually able to get themselves a strong foundation on the defense could put up a bit of a wall for Cloud9 to break through. I feel like they've got a really good advantage going into this T side, not just in the round count, but in the fact that Cloud9 don't really know what to do. 9Z have had consistent success from here on out, and this could lead forward to them taking this map by storm.
Yeah, they set themselves up nicely. The confidence is absolutely there. I mean, it helps when you get this good of a first half. Max, 12 kills on him, NQC up at 11, and then everyone else is right behind. It's a full team effort. They should feel really confident right now. See how long that lasts for. Axel will take a good headshot right there with the USP. David out of the round early, unfortunately for him, but good return. And they're going to try and put some pressure on the bombs running up there. They want to go for it right now. Only 2 people defending inside of the A-bomb site. DDG will take down Hobbit, and now alone trying to defend it is Nafferty over at the CT spawn. Now, Shiro's throwing himself into the mix, coming through the hole inside of the window room, but not in time, really. Intus, there's no reason to fight him here. They don't have to. Just get the bomb down and try and make a run for it. That's all you need.
You know where the last players are, too. CT, Rabbit Hole probably went both around towards together. And now as that smoke's thrown down, it's a big whiff. It doesn't go on the bomb. They can easily see that, so now it's just about waiting. The response needs to be made from Cloud9. It doesn't even seem like they know that the smoke's been missed. Inters finally takes a head off, but with both of them now confirmed and spotted, they just got to stick this inside of the smoke kit. Oh, it almost got the defuse, but DGT luckily peppers in a couple of bullets behind the blind spot and finds 9Z's 10th round double digits as Cloud9 are starting to shake a little bit.
Yeah, damn, that was scary, but it worked out. They are, considering the caliber of team that they're up against here, I've got to say, they are playing like they're completely unaffected by the pressure, which is, that's what you want to do, but it's usually really, really hard when you look at the lineup of names on the other side. So, you know, more power to them at the moment. 10-6. Off to a real good start right here on 9C on Mirage. First map, of course, in the best of 3, but you've got to appreciate it. David taking down Hobbit here, and it's not that much weapon. No weaponry at all, really, on that CT side at the moment.
That doesn't even seem like it's a stack on the pistols. Just kind of, I don't know, throw yourselves around, see if you can't find a kill. Maybe we walk away with a frag, maybe we don't. It doesn't really matter. But so far, 9Z are just able to hold on to all of these guns. And I guess that's the big win, right? Just keep the money built up.
That's all they need. I mean, this map was picked by 9C, so there is that to think about, you know. But still, you do want to see Cloud9, even just on skill alone, be able to take some more of these fights. Just because of the caliber. But I mean, on the other side of things, I guess, the level in Counter-Strike in general has just gone up so much even in the last year and a half. It just feels like even teams that we haven't heard about too much or don't necessarily spend a lot of time looking at, a lot of these players are just getting ridiculously good really, really quickly. So, I don't know. I feel like in the past, you know, you scroll a little bit back in history, some of the top teams tended to be top teams for a long time. Like those eras that we all love to talk about, it feels like it's going to be harder and harder right now to build any kind of an era, right?
Yeah, I mean, we saw one from Na'Vi, but look how that went. Not for long.
Yeah.
Thought we'd see one from FaZe, but apparently not. Like, everybody's just so quick to adapt to what everybody else is throwing at them. It's great.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it does make it interesting, right? It's hard to predict almost anything, which is not a bad thing necessarily. Nice nade on a Nafferty down the middle. A lot of control in the middle for Cloud9, but that's not where they need to be right now. This is definitely looking like more of a straight B execute.
I'm all for it. I mean, there's only 2 players here. The response is going to be a bit late, but that's if you need a response at all. Inter, he's already picked up the opening frag and running through the flames. David will carry for a pick, but now the cavalry's arrived and things are going to get a bit more tricky to find success in. With the bot and the laps of the CTs, it's all a game of how many kills are you going to be able to find before all is said and done. C9 making clockwork of this B take, and it's pretty good at doing so in the process.
Absolutely well done. Once it slows down, that two-man defense really quickly becomes three, and then a fourth, it just... You need to be so committed and just follow through on those kind of pushes there if you're on the 9C side. And they got slowed down just enough that it made a difference here. Inters on that opening kill. Yeah, this stuff from David is really good. There was maybe a slim chance here, but once a couple of more seconds go by, yeah, you could see everyone started to show up. So 11-7 is the scoreline, and no bomb plant means this is going to be the last buy-in for now 9C. So if they come in this round, it's possible that that Cloud9 are going to start to wake up and get back into the game a little bit once again. I'm going to be a default spread coming up from the T side. Nothing out of the ordinary. They're expecting for the CTs to be a little bit aggressive, and they want to see if they can catch any of them.
I just wonder what the response is going to be, because if that's to set a story or set a bit of a pace of what we're going to see from the execs from 9Z, it might get ugly. That one was a bit choppy. Couple of missed spacings. It felt like they were having difficulty just going together out of the apartments, finding opening picks. So, I don't know. I mean, the only rounds we saw so far on this T side have just been them being able to find opening picks and press that forward. Again, they want to go towards B, but without cat control, it might just be rinse and repeat of what happened in the previous jump spot coming through right now from Inters, and he's still got plenty of utility to shut this down.
Ooh, a little bit of a spray there from Exile. He's so well versed in that M4A1, so gotta appreciate it. Third kill of the round for him right then and there. Inters looking over the smoke and sees it coming. So falling flat this round a little bit here for the T side, unfortunately. They could have used not just a bomb plant, but some good damage onto an economy which almost doesn't exist for Cloud9. But I mean, again, if they could have taken 2 or 3 kills in this round, it all adds up towards the end of the half. And now instead, looks like a flawless round, and it will be. So they're gonna be happy about this one, Cloud9. 11-8. That's one thing. I don't think they care about the scoreline. They just want to make sure they have that money right now, and then they're gonna be able to cruise their way home here. This could easily be a little bit of a turnaround for Cloud9 happening.
Yeah, I mean, again, really nothing to work with in this round. You might just be like one more shutdown rifle round away from tying this game up, all things said and done. So, from that point forward, where's 9Z going to put us? Where on the map are they going to pinpoint themselves? Because I just feel like in these rifle showings, they haven't made any of one on ST side so far.
Okay. Trying to be quick with the P250. That would have been a lot of style points if you can run in and hit that headshot with the P250. I don't know if I've seen that, but got to give it a shot. And Cloud9 don't have to do anything in this round, do they? Really? I mean, they can chill out and wait for it. They're all in the middle, but there's no pressure on them to really run out and look for fights.
I feel like there's two kind of P250 players in the world. The ones that just have constant highlight reels with it, and then you just can't do anything with it. I don't think there's any in between on that one.
It's all or nothing, yeah. That's probably true. Yeah, that's how I feel with the Deagle. It's
really?
It's either there are some people who are just born with like really good Deagle skills, and then there's all the rest of us.
I feel like you can kind of just get lucky kills in the Deagle sometimes. Spam it. Oh, totally meant to do that.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Just pretend like it's all good. I like the P250. I don't know. It just feels like. It feels nice when you get it feels like you earned it when you get that P250 headshot, I appreciate it. Well, 11-9, 21st round coming up, and limited nades on that C side. Got enough for a decent smoke execute on any bomb site they want to pick, but not really much beyond that. So that is unfortunate.
Ooh, this could be a bit of a bait and switch. Shiro making a lot of noise in from window, maybe trying to sell some presents. Have somebody with their head turned the wrong way as they come up into the connector angle, but no, oh, wow, Exile doesn't need vision. Nobody does when you got players hitting shots like this. And this is scary too. I mean, right now you've got Hobbit, who's not really showing up at all for Cloud9, and they're still putting up this much of a good fight. Like, as this series goes on, it's only gonna get worse for 9Z. So they kind of need to start waking up.
Yeah, I agree. That is a huge sign of worry, and a couple of them are playing a good job. Exile has been there pretty much all throughout, but the longer it goes, the bigger the chance is that more of them are going to start to come online. And this is a rough beginning of the round. 5-3 right now. Looking to see if they can make it over to the ramp, sneaking their way through. They need some out-of-this-world headshots to begin this with, to even have a chance at a bomb plant. And look at this. On the CT side, they already know what's coming. They're already starting to gravitate more people over here. Roobet, you said, not necessarily the best game for him just yet, but even that kill is easy for him to pick up, and they're just going to back on out. Wow.
It's really unfortunate. They just have not gotten anything going in these rifle rounds. Cloud9 have found openers on openers on openers in some of the most crazy ways, too. Like, it's not like they've been given these picks. Like, they have been earning them. And it's again, scary to think, but I'd also like to see 9Z prioritize utility a little bit more. I feel like from the get-go, they were kind of relying on them just hitting some nice shots for them to win a round like this.
I mean, especially because, at least on the A-bomb side of this map, you can usually get some pretty decent bomb plants down in there. And if you have a little bit of a protocol for the after plant, you know, the right Molotovs, maybe one more smoke to try and see if you can slow them down, I mean, it's possible to do some real damage. So, yeah, it'd be good to see them try and use a little bit of that. This round, though, is going to be something else, right? 2 AKs, some pistols behind it. So you just want to put those AKs to work and try to find any opening that you can. A little bit of a sandwich towards the middle, coming up out of the underpass as well. So, oh, nice, David, with the opening on Exile. Nice start here. That's all the way over in Catwalk towards the B bomb side. That isolates that B defense a lot.
It's a gun they could get too. I mean, nobody's able to hold this down, but David's just double entry. He's gotten another in window. Well, there's still 2 defenders on the A site. They're both 1 for 1 right now. If he hits any more nice shots, then this round turns to turmoil. But thankfully, they finally end his little bit of a run. It's not done yet. Again, weapons were able to be picked up, and Rox doesn't stop there. They keep steamrolling into the A site, in which only Hobbit's here to try to respond in from the ramp side. They don't line up for him, and that's going to be the undoing. Left all up to the rotation and inters, and it's nothing but multi-kills for 9Z. A bunch of lucky kills going their way, you can say, but still, they'll take that. Finally, they get back to a winning round on this T side.
That is actually very, very cool. That's a very hard round to win. David opening all of it up. You could see, maybe he doesn't like this fight against Nafany right away because he's already been found out. They already had a little bit of an exchange, and then he's like, you know what? On the other hand, if I don't win this fight, maybe we never even get into the round. So super well done, and then GGT at the end. Wow, this is shocking. Leg shot right in the middle. Max very nearly dead. I don't know if Exile knew or not. That grenade might have got the job done, but 12 to 10 and 9C. This is once again interesting. They're showing us a couple of promising signs here, something that could work for them to steal this map away, and they probably need to. Again, they did pick the map, so you have to expect that Cloud9 are going to be much better suited for our second map. Nice infiltration here from David. This is in itself just a good position to be in.
This kind of feels uncomfortable from Cloud9 with all the space that 9Z have been able to take for almost free. Doesn't seem like they know where to look. I mean, you've got, if you take a gander over at Hobbit on the A side, he doesn't know where his attention should be drawn, whether it's towards ramp, to palace, to connector. He's got so many angles to worry about, and that could cause some distress. I mean, with 1 minute to go, 9Z are starting to regroup at that side of the map. The bomb on the back of Rox, and they've got plenty of util to get in, and C9 still don't seem like they know what's going on, really.
No, they're a little bit out of the mix. They don't have any info about what's happening in the middle. Let's see how much they can sell. Oh, no. Max gets blown up. That was a deep grenade from Exile, blowing him right up. But, oh, Shiro, what a save. And he's back with a shot, taking down GDT. And he knows there might be an open play. He's going to try and see if he can flash him out of that position. And NQC, what a madman. He runs forward once he's flashed. Instead of running back and hiding in the palace, he just wants to see if he can push it. He's on his own, though. And Nafany will take him down. So, nice attempt. That almost could have worked. If Shiro hadn't been at the bomb site to save his teammate, I think they might have cracked it open.
That was all calculated from C9, I think. That molly tells me almost everything. It's like, you see the fact that they gave up connector control. They just wanted to hold on to Palace, ensure that they couldn't plant for CT. I think that was the play from Cloud9, because that molly comes over the top of CT, over into the to the spot where you could plant on the triple boxes, and 9Z get nothing because of it. That's exactly what they were trying to do.
24th round here. This is getting a bit close once again. And the money is not with 9C, so they need this round badly. They need to step it up right now. They could put some distance between themselves and Cloud9 if they win this one. So let's see if they're going to be able to. Shiro with the opening, taking down Rox, and NQC. He falls next. Shiro Just out by that triple box, having no problem at all, feeling no pressure from either the ramp or the palace, just able to take that fight down the middle. And that is a bit rough. A 5-on-3 to start this round with.
And they're leaving Hobbit all by his lonesome here. With this big advantage, they can take a risk like this. They can afford it. Maybe not the best course of options, but still not really going to come back to haunt you yet through the smoke, David. Oh, that could have been a big pick. Not only the bomb, but a 5-on-2 would have been next to unwinnable if it wasn't already. And they still don't even know that this double op is in play from Exile.
It looked like that was about to connect, didn't it, through the smoke? I thought the same thing, but at least they managed to live through that for now. 45 seconds though, and look at the mid control that's here for the Cloud9 side, and they got that deep angle into the B hallways. They know everything they need to know right now on the CT side. They're not worried at all.
Yeah, this one kind of just seems like it's scraping sticks and stones together to try to find any form of success. I mean, you'd be lucky to get a plant, but I think 9Z already kind of have the game plan called to just pull it into a save. Money is really a big issue for them right now, as they still haven't been able to get anything going, and they're going to have to work without the big green coming into these next couple of rounds. Not that I feel like it's done much on this T side, but that's just the start of their troubles. They're still going to be missing utility, and that's if they're allowed to save these guns.
Yeah, looking just a bit is Nafany. He realizes what's up. It's probably worth it. I mean, he's got 5,000 in the bank. If he could find a kill right now, I mean, that would take a lot away from the T side, but he's not going to be able to. Ties up the scoreline 12-12, which, with the money that's building on that CT side and the way that Shiro is playing with that AWP, I'm starting to get a little bit worried now for the underdog team.
And that's another round where they literally don't even get a kill. So yeah, no, money is going to be a bit of an issue. I'm with you. It almost feels like it's incomprehensible at this point. It feels like Cloud9 are going to have buys for just about the rest of the game. So it's really all about what 9Z can do tactics-wise. Can they get into these sites? Can they demand some respect from Cloud9? Can they actually show that this T side is going to be able to be consistently made of something? Because so far, it's just kind of been piece by piece. It doesn't feel like most of these rounds have been all because of them, right? The one round they win, it was a double entry up connector. It was a bit messy from Cloud9, and they haven't really let those mistakes shine again.
They need to pull it together. They don't have a lot of runway left at the moment. You could start to tell. Yeah, wow, the money. There's almost 10,000 on 3 of the players there on the Cloud9 side. That is a little bit disturbing. Well, we're going to find out some pressure onto that A ramp. They're going to put out the smoke right away, and looked like they wanted to follow through, but I guess not. They changed their minds. I'm not sure what changed it.
I mean, it was the wiser call. You had an op staring right at the barrel of A ramp, so you were not going to make it out of there without taking casualties. Maybe it's about selling a bit of a fade, pulling some rotations, but Cloud9 are not budging whatsoever. I mean, this is just going to be a re-exec into a very still stacked up A site.
I mean, they dodged some of the flames down there, so we'll see. But
Sure.
again, the mid control. I mean, look at how close they are. They almost have 4 people at the bomb side. This could be a real nightmare.
Still going to have to walk through this op. They're just waiting. Maybe for these smokes to fade. I think they really want to get DGT in on this A take. Be a bit of a mispronged approach without him. But Cloud9, dude, they keep relentlessly throwing these bits of utility. And Shiro, finally, after all of his waiting and patience, catches David lurking out through the smoke. And they realize it's about time they just cut their losses and see if they can't make it work as they barrel out through his smoke. The Apex angle is not going to help Rock. Shiro from triple on the op once more. He smells it. Blood in the water. 4 is all he'll get, but he'll take it with glee. Cloud9, their first lead of the whole game.
Yeah, it's crazy you say that, right? That's not, I think, what most people were expecting, but you're right, this is the first lead that they have in the map, and honestly, though, that performance from Shiro right here, that has to feel so defeating if you're on the 9C side. Your chances now of getting back into it when you run into this kind of a one-man army, it's just absolutely absurd, especially the kill that he got up on Palace right there. 23 kills that he's clocking in at right now. And the scoreline is 13-12. Again, no bomb plant. Round loss bonus. Sure, it's starting to kick in, but I don't think that's what's going to save them. We'll see. Smoke in the window. It's going to be a quick flash to set something up here, but already naded and Molotov, so I take it back. They're going to have to be slowed down, and that the problem is now there's more defense here. They got 3 people ready to go.
It's the definition of insanity, man. They keep trying this speed play, and it seems like it keeps not working. Exile finally gets to activate on that double op, and it's back-to-back op clips for the likes of Cloud9. Another big multi-kill, and it's Shiro to top it all off. 14 for C9, and 9Z might be close to giving their last breath on Mirage.
Damn, what a rough turn of events after what is honestly such an impressive performance from 9C. But right at the end here, it's been what, 4 in a row right now for Cloud9, and I think none of them have been even bomb plants, right? They ran out of time the one time, and they had a couple of rounds where they had so yeah, no bomb plants for the last 4 rounds. They're getting shut out of the second half in a big way.
It's kind of sad to see. I mean, I come into this half kind of praising 9Z for where the T side looked previously. I mean, against Furia, they looked really good. I believe they had 10 rounds against them, and that's from the T side. So it's just so hard for them to find any consistent success here. I mean, it almost feels like they're next to giving up. It's like those smiles quickly turn to frowns, and it almost feels like this one's already over.
Yeah, it's trending in that direction, no doubt about it. 14-12. Okay, well, I don't feel like Cloud9. The problem is as well, they're not being put under enough pressure that they even have to change their default approach to these rounds, right? They still have that really rock-solid mid-centric defense. And what it means is, right, they can quickly be at the A-bomb site if they need to. They can quickly have 3 people at the B-bomb site. So until 9C find a way to break that open, any bomb site they attack right now is going to be... It's going to be hard to stop there being a whole lot of defense there. Nice trade this time around. We appreciate that. David taking down Axile.
Oh, David, he's just caught the timing of his life. 2 CTs, unbeknown to what's just happened. He's come up connector and caught Hobbit coming back up through the rabbit hole. And now there's a way for them to crack open into this A site. He wants more, and he's found it. Another double entry right up connector. David, he has almost single-handedly won both of these rounds for 9Z. And I guess maybe there is still a bit of hope from this T side, but that's not to be said this is done yet, because maybe they're still looking to do a little bit of damage in this 2-on-4.
Yeah, well played, David. Especially that one through the smoke. That's disgusting. I don't think he knew that, but that was just a little bit of a guess, and it's amazing. It works. NQC taking down Shiro, who's otherwise been the bane of their existence for a minute here on the map. Inter's going to have to back on out and just try and save this. That's really well done. Well played on David's side. The fact that he got a triple is nice, but the first kill, even sneaking through, is just... That's a lot of work on his part. So, they start to pick it up again. The problem, again, look at the money on the Cloud9 side. That's the part that they have to fight through, but still, not at all a bad job.
I mean, at least this time they get to add more utility to their belts. I feel like last time that happened, it was still like the Lils all over the place, maybe only a couple of smokes and flashes. Now they've got the whole 9 yards, so... There shouldn't really be anything holding them back from doing whatever they want to in this next round. It's like they can go for maybe some fakes, try to put the pressure on, like you said, maybe really work back at what C9 have been doing in middle like they did here, and maybe start to bring this game back. But if it's another one of those rounds that just goes 1 for 1, then it seems like the story will just be the exact same.
Yeah, it very well could be. Again, it takes a couple of rounds like the ones that we've seen here where, you know, this time it was David getting a triple kill, but they probably need some heroic performances like that. Honestly, I mean, no matter what happens here, I'm super impressed by 9C. 13-14, they're within striking distance. They could even win this map if they have 2 rounds, you know, back-to-back like this, where they have a couple of players that pop off and get some double or triple kills. They might just get to the finish line before Cloud9 does, and then who knows what happens, right? I'm sure Cloud9 must be thinking the same thing, that this should be a little bit of an easier affair. Nice opening. It's David again, taking down Shiro. And now Hobbit, you could tell he's under a lot of pressure. Nefany trying to help him out. Hobbit, though, taking 2 of them with him into the grave. That's an expensive price to be paying right there. And it's NQC and Max left, and I'd say just as he goes down. NQC on his own, 1 versus 3, and the Flames will consume him at the end. Axile able to defend 15-13. But still, man, what an opening for David. He's showing us a lot right now.
I thought they had it too. I mean, they had the right read. They popped out through the palace smoke. Nobody was looking at it. They catch Shiro with his head turned and stares, completely unbeknown to what was going on. The problem just starts to rise that Hobbit is somehow able to get to. I mean, the first, you kind of understand it. You don't think he's going to be able to be there considering all the mollies, but then the trade was late. Then people started running through smokes for Cloud9 to make sure they could really pounce on what Hobbit had just done. And it is right back at them, right? 15-13, 2 chances to go to Dust 2, them being the favorites. And if they weren't already favorites enough, it feels like, again, 9Z just hit this roadblock that Cloud9 won't consistently give at.
It's looking good right here. David, he's back at it, though. getting more entries. You got to give it to, even if he goes down like that, it's so worth it. It's so hard to do. And if, you know, Cloud9's team, that's not easy to get. And that's one of the big issues playing against them, is they can be very hard to find some of these fights and have them cleanly, but, you know, more power to him. Shiro showing up, making a bit of noise, and that actually distracts Inter, is able to get the kill, because they were all looking down towards that catwalk instead. Close range with the Deagle. Even after the nerf, it can still do some damage, and Shiro now closer with the AWP. Instant no-scope, and he likes him to follow it up. It's a headshot from Inters, and it's a 16-13 win for Cloud9 on that opening map. But man, 9C, they absolutely surprised me here. I was not expecting that.
Still, though, that's CT